overactive, underactive, short, long, static, dynamic. There are now a lot of words to describe our muscles other than just strong and weak. But what do they all mean? And why should they matter to a musician? Oh, so many reasons. If you were anything like me as a young child, you probably lived in terror on the dodgeball court. You couldn't run a complete mile, and you maybe had a parent who would say things like, if you break a finger in a basketball game, there goes your music career. So, while you're unlikely to break a finger due to your music practice, injuries related to muscles are actually incredibly common and incredibly likely. So maybe we should have taken our chances on the basketball court. Imbalanced muscles. A muscle imbalance is what happens when a muscle length and strength around a joint are not even. Remember those muscle buddies I talked about in last week's video, the flexor and the extensor? Well, they're what we want to have even. Let's take our shoulder for example. If the pectoral muscle in front becomes tightened or shortened through flexion, it's going to pull our body forward into this rounded position. To recover from this, the pectoral needs to loosen, lengthen, or relax. And the muscles in our back, the trapezius and the latissimus dorsi, need to be strengthened through flexion exercises. The imbalance of this buddy group is going to reveal itself as pain through inflammation in the rotator cuff or pressure on a pinched nerve. So how are musicians causing these imbalances in our body? Well, an imbalance is usually caused because one muscle group is overactive and the other muscle group is underactive. For string players, we often and incorrectly think of this as my right arm is moving around a lot and overactive, and my left arm is staying stationary and underactive. While this may cause a body imbalance, newsflash, not all overactive muscles are moving around. Something called a static muscle now comes into play. A static muscle is a muscle that is in use but stationary. Let's revisit our bicep. When a musician plays their instrument, their elbows bend. This activates the bicep muscle, which is now in flexion. In order to relax our bicep muscle and straighten our arm, our tricep muscle needs to extend to relax the bicep in the front. But let's say you've been playing for several hours. What are the chances that this bicep muscle that's been in flexion for so long remembers what it's like to relax? And what are the chances that your tricep muscle, who's been off the hook, even wants to activate or do anything? Slim. Very slim. In fact, muscles that are subject to static work take 12 times longer to recover than muscles that are engaged in active or dynamic usage. If you're a string player, that means that your left arm needs 12 times longer to recover than your right arm. If you're in marching band, it means that your upper body needs 12 times longer to recover than your lower body. The reason is because of blood flow. Muscles that are dynamic or active are constantly being replenished with fresh blood circulation carrying oxygen to these muscles, which means that your number one move for recovering muscles involved in static usage must be promoting circulation. In fact, circulation is so much more important than stretching because there is a difference between a short muscle and a tight muscle. A short muscle may be something that you were born with, and it may be something that you can solve with a little bit of stretching, but a tight muscle is a muscle that has been so overworked and overused, he's actually forgotten how to recover and relax. It also means that you should be actively working on the prevention side of things. This could be something as simple as dropping your arms down to your side in an orchestra rehearsal, allowing the blood to flow the opposite direction into your fingers and through those static muscles. Advocate for rehearsal breaks. Find the people in charge and explain to them why you need them at certain increments. It's because you're risking injury, and an injured performer is no good to them in a performance. Use those breaks to stand, move around, stretch, and ration your time spent practicing with what you're expected to do in rehearsals and performances. Also, make sure to cross-train. I'm talking the real kind of cross-training where maybe you go to the gym or you have a home body weight routine. It means taking notice of the underactive muscles. Whether it's still in static or dynamic and moving, every muscle has a buddy who's not being used in your music practice. find them, strengthen them, but give them a little extra love and attention. A marathon runner still lifts weights in their upper body, and a snowboarder still goes running. And it's because athletes have come to an understanding that they need to train their body as a whole for optimal career success, peak performance, and longevity. If you want to be elite, train like you're elite. You are so much more than your instrument. In fact, your instrument is just a tiny portion, but you are the greatness being applied to it. If you want a career of less pain, more music, and longevity, then set yourself up for success by training for success. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you found that video helpful. If you did, and you'd like more information on promoting circulation, then please follow the link that we've listed below. That link's going to take you to our Musician Health Resource website, and our online store has a couple of really helpful tools for promoting circulation to your fingers and forearms and other common static muscle groups that are hard to get circulation back into. Also, make sure that you're following the Musician Health Resource Instagram, same name, and on it this week we're going to have a couple of stretches for strengthening the traps and the lats like we mentioned in the video. Lastly, if you're not already, please hit the subscribe button or tell people about us, because we're going to be covering lots more words you've heard, especially pertaining to injuries this spring. So it's going to be really useful for having informed conversations with your physicians or your students or anyone helping you get your body in peak performance shape. Thanks so much.